I'd like to call to order the Winthrop School Committee meeting of Monday, January 13th, 2026 at 5:30 p.m. This meeting is being held in the Harvey Hearing Room at Town Hall, 1 Metcalf Square, Winthrop, Massachusetts. May I have a roll call, please?
Ms. Burrows? Here. Ms. Darcy? Ms. Cubic? Here. Mr. Lettieri?
Here.
Mr. Purinton? Mr. Matucci?
Here.
Ms. Petrie?
Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance, please. Mr. Lettieri, would you lead us?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please remain standing for a moment of silence. We're holding a moment of silence for Joseph Clark, Sandra Hurley, and Mary Alice Sharkey. Mr. Clark served on the Winthrop School Committee from 1992 to 1998. He was the chairman from 95 to 97. Mrs. Hurley was the medical careers teacher at Winthrop High School from 1995 to 1997. Was the medical careers teacher at Winthrop High School and resigned in 1983. And Mrs. Sharkey was an ESP and a special education teacher who retired in 2009. She was the Winthrop Teachers Association Union president and served on the school committee from 2012 to 2015. Thank you. We'll open the floor for public comment. I don't see any visitors. Do we have any written in public comment?
Not this week.
Thank you. We have no delegates or visitors. I have a motion to approve the minutes of June 15th, 2026. Motion. Okay.
Second.
Seconded by Mr. Martucci. Any discussion? May I have a roll call, please?
Yes, Ms. Burrows?
I wasn't at that one. Abstain.
Ms. Cubic?
Yes.
Mr. Lettieri?
Yes.
Mr. Matucci?
Yes.
Ms. Petrie?
Yes. Motion passes. May I have a motion to approve the minutes of June 29th, 2026?
Motion. Second.
Motion by Mr. Martucci, second by Mr. Lettieri. Any discussion? May I have a roll call, please?
Ms. Burrows?
Yes.
Ms. Darcy? Ms. Cubic?
Yes.
Mr. Lettieri?
Yes.
Mr. Matucci?
Yes.
Ms. Petrie?
Yes. Motion passes. May I have a motion to approve warrant SVW 26-24 in the amount of $615,767.39?
Motion. Second.
Motion by Mr. Lettieri, second by Mr. Martucci. Any discussion? May I have a roll call, please?
Ms. Burrows?
Yes.
Ms. Cubic?
Yes.
Mr. Lettieri?
Yes.
Mr. Matucci?
Yes.
Ms. Petrie, yes. Motion passes. May I have a motion to approve payroll warrant SPW 26-26 in the amount of $4,266,446.01.
Excuse me, that just point of order.
Yes.
It's the 20, it's the last 20, but it should be.
That's the wrong. Yeah, it's the wrong amount.
I have a motion to approve payroll warrant SPW 26-26 in the amount of $266,446.01.
Motion.
Second. Motion by Ms. Lettieri, second by Ms. Burrows. Any discussion? May I have a roll call, please?
Ms. Burrows?
Yes.
Ms. Cubic?
Yes.
Mr. Lettieri?
Yes.
Mr. Matucci?
Abstain.
Ms. Petrie?
Yes. Motion passes. Do we have any budget transfers?
None.
Great. May I have a motion to approve the Winthrop High School girls basketball car wash for buildings and grounds, please?
Motion. Second.
Motion by Mr. Martucci, second by Mr. Lettieri. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Yeah.
Any opposed or abstention? Motion passes. May I have a motion for Suffolk County Sheriff's Department CODA graduation? Motion. Second. Motion by Ms. Cubic, second by Ms. Burrows. Any discussion?
So this, just a quick note on that, that was done through, Chief Goodwin had asked if they could utilize the auditorium, and I think, I'm not sure if it's the cafeteria or not.
I think it's just the auditorium.
Just the auditorium, so we worked with them and they'll be, paying the fees that they need to pay, but it's a large graduation, I think it's pretty big, right?
Yeah.
He had said that they love Winthrop and Winthrop is our auditorium, so but police department does a lot for us, so just so you know the kind of context of why that's happening.
Thank you. Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed or abstention? The next three I'd like to take together. They are for the Gorman Fort Banks PTO. One is for their ice cream social, one is for their meetings next school year, and one is for trunk or treat.
Motion. Second.
Motion by Mr. Martucci, second by Mr. Lettieri. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed or abstentions? The same. Motion passes, thank you. We don't have a shore collaborative subcommittee report, so we can do that next meeting. Do you have a superintendent's report?
We do. Just a couple of general updates. So the joint labor management committee had to be put together to review the stipends. That's the result of an MOU that we put together at the end of the teacher negotiations, or actually it was done early in the teacher negotiations. And that's looking at all the stipends in Appendix C and D. There's no commitment on the part of the school committee at this point to change the figures and the cost for each one of those, so the salary for each one of those. I think that may be a recommendation. So what happens is a committee is put together with some members of the WTAE board and some members of the school department. And then they meet, they're gonna look at all of the stipends. There was a recommendation a few years ago to move them into tiers and to develop job descriptions and expectations for each one of those stipends. So they'll be taking part in doing that. I would assume that they will ask for an increase in the salary for each one of those. And then what they do is they put together a package and they deliver it to the school committee. And we set up a subcommittee meeting of the WTAE board and the school committee teachers negotiation committee. And that's when you decide whether you're accepting anything that they're recommending or not. But there's no obligation in the MOU to make any changes, it's just a matter to meet. So we talked about that happening during our summer leadership, which I'll get to in a minute. We'll be moving from, right now we use Microsoft Outlook. I don't know if people know, but Microsoft Outlook's subscription is for email plus access to Excel and access to Word and a couple of other things that we don't use. We've been very used to using that. In, I think, June of last year, Microsoft decided that they were upgrading their platform and it was not gonna be fee-based for the emails. Each, between Microsoft and Google, they both have educators accounts, so both of them have been free. Microsoft in June of last year decided they couldn't fulfill that anymore, so they went to a fee-based cost to utilize the email. It was done pretty timely on their part because July and August is typically not enough time to migrate all the information and educate your staff. So we've done a lot of work on that over the course of the school year. It was costing about $1,200 a month, I believe, for us to pay for that throughout the school year. We have the plan of getting ready to migrate all the information, all the setup involved in that. Teachers were notified the last day of school to keep an eye on their current email, and we'd be letting them know when we're no longer going to have Outlook. All the information, all the past emails, which is important to us because of public record requests, those will all migrate over to Gmail. Nothing will change in terms of a teacher's email. What does change is when you no longer pay Microsoft the $1,200 a month. You can't separate access to just Excel, that it's one license. So after lots of conversation with administration and knowing secretaries who use Excel has some different capabilities that I guess Google Sheets does not have. And so we will keep a few licenses, but we won't keep over 300 because of the cost associated with that. So we're working on that. It'll be, like I said, the 24th when we'll do the actual migration and turnover and staff will be notified. So that'll be a savings for us next year. Right now, we pay that bill through Balsam Technologies, so they actually pay Microsoft and we pay Balsam because it had to be done sort of in a 2-week time frame in terms of purchase orders and guarantees to pay. So we had Balsam take care of that, so that will lower the Balsam bill by a bit. But that's just some general information on that. We reestablished residency for all the students. We're going into grades 3, 6, and 9 is going to begin this week. So parents will get an automated email, any parents of students in those grades, that they have to go on to Power School. Areli Davis, who's our student information system genius, is doing a picture walkthrough so people know how to do it. It'll have pictures of what steps they have to take in order to do that. The secretaries at the buildings, that is part of their responsibility to make sure that they gather all that information, keep track of who has done it and who hasn't. And come about the second week in August, anyone who hasn't done the re-registration process, we start calling them and telling them they have to do it, listening to why they can't, and then that sparks off a lot of residency checks for families that may have moved. So that will be posted on the main website for people for all those grade levels. It will also be sent to them. And then new student registration, Parent Information Center is staffed by 10-month employees, so they work hourly for us over the summer. So we just did the dates that they are available, so we have that all ready to go and be posted on the main website. There'll be an alert that says new student registration that they can click on that will bring them to the Parent Information Center, hours, address, telephone number. So it should be seamless. I say that, and it never is, but at least it will be communicated widely. The principals will be also pasting on the front door of each school building the Parent Information Center hours. Tomorrow I will be leaving for the superintendent conference and on the Cape. It started actually this morning. I had a school committee meeting and some stuff to do, so I'm not going until tomorrow morning. So it's a event that lasts all week, and the majority of the superintendents in the Commonwealth attend. We have some really good speakers coming. The Commissioner of Education shows up. They have a vendor display where you can make relationships with vendors and get free things and trials of things. If you're savvy like me, you make enough relationships that you actually go to that vendor's evening dinner as opposed to going to, I don't know, Chick-fil-A. So relationships that I've built over the years, I think have been beneficial for us, to get discounts on things and pay a little bit of a lower price on different technologies and curriculum and other items. So it's definitely a busy conference. It starts, you're there at 8 o'clock at Mashpee High School, 8 o'clock in the morning, and the last session is usually 3 to 4. And then it's a lot of networking and vendor-related things you could do. John Macero is leading, a former superintendent. John Macero is now the key person that oversees the vendors. So I feel like Xerox and I might become best friends by the end of the session. In my place while I'm gone, which I'm remiss to not start my superintendent's report with welcoming Brian Curley to the table as the Assistant Superintendent of Curriculum Instruction and Accountability. Brian's probably sick of listening to me talk, but it's going to be a year of talking about it. So normally the Assistant Superintendent would go to that. As people who've been here for a while know, I'm not a huge fan of the two lead people in the district being out at the same time unless it's during the summer. But I would assume that next school year, Brian would be attending that, because again, the connections you make with other people allow you to phone a friend when you need to, because there aren't a lot of other opportunities. So that will be happening, so don't miss me. The first summer leader session we had was on July 9th. Topics that we covered were creating a shared Google folder with forms in it, and a lot of the forms are the forms that are coming out of negotiations, things like the translation money that people would get if they were asked to translate with administrative permission to do so. So doing a lot of that so that there is much more easier access and continuity of forms across the whole district. So we worked on creating those and putting that folder together. We talked about the moving from Outlook to Gmail during that session as well, and the reestablished residency as well. We did a lot of work on staffing and budget updates, so looking at the new staff, looking at cost savings, looking at the deltas of that, looking at all the curriculum purchases, because some of our curriculum is curriculum that's used across 4 schools. So cleaning things up and doing one purchase order, but tying it to 4 separate school line items. So a lot of that cleanup has been done. What else did we do? A lot of union updates, so although we've reviewed it multiple times, the MOUs that we created for all 4 units, principals have had those in their hands since the day they were signed. but then going over to them again for continuity and making sure that we're all understanding the implications of those and how we're gonna move forward with each one of those in all 4 school buildings. Again, that led to creating some protocols and some forms, and it was very helpful. We also did the opening of school plan, so those first 2 days, if you remember, we have to incorporate some setup time, we have to incorporate the union having some stage time with the entire union. So with the 4 principals, we've laid it out so that it's very clear what we're doing every minute of the day. Those 2 days, teachers will come from 8 to 3, so they won't do their usual schedule, which might be 7:35 to 2:35. Letters will go out to all the staff, letting them know about that, so we do that every year, welcome back, and give them kind of all the details of the first 2 days of school. We also began and will finish in another leadership meeting this summer, the professional development plan for the year. So making sure that we nail down and so that teachers know well ahead of time what's gonna be covered on each day. The biggest day is November 3rd. It's the voting day, whatever day that is. We used to work with the 5DP and we'd have like a whole bunch of different schools working together. And it was a lot of online work. We're moving back to people-facing people work. We're not doing the 5DP anymore. That kind of went away as of last year. It disbanded. So we're gonna do a lot of work with our staff, some consistent work, we're all doing the same thing at the same time, and then some building-based work. Teachers will be here. In the past, they have done it remotely from home, but they'll be physically here within our programs, and we'll get that information out to you too. About 700 topics for the next 1 to 2 summer leadership meetings. But it's all like really good work, pointed, known ahead of time what we're doing, prep work ahead of time. And some really good technology work from some of our principals who next day wheelhouse so we can develop, a pre-made Google form that we're all sitting at a table and we're all working on it at the same time. So I think they're extremely beneficial, and we don't waste any time while we're doing it. I'm gonna be a bunch this time, so next time. So I believe that just 2 other little things on the coming school. I remember we talked about actuators. I don't expect you to remember what they are, but they are little things that are in the school classrooms that regulate the airflow and the temperature in those rooms. We've had a couple of years in a row now where we've had many of them, they were all out of warranty, but many of them just kind of died. So we purchased 35 new actuators. They have all been installed by Dakin. I think it was very good. And as of right now, all of those rooms, the temperature is regulated up until today. From the cafeteria and the rooms that Spark uses. So for the after-school program and the summer program, last year we had an issue with the air conditioning system. They repaired that, then they put the wrong part in, then they came out and put the right part in. It was working and now it's not. So Dakin is coming out to give us a quote on fixing that. We'll see if it's related to what they already put in, and if it is, they'll fix it for free. If it's not, we'll figure out what we're going to do with that next. We did move the kids from Spark to other classrooms so that they had air conditioning because the rest of the building is working well. There's some painting. We're slow to go on the painting, but we're continuing to paint. We did a lot of painting at the Cummings last year, continuing to work on hallways and the front entryway. And we've had an update on the cleanliness and the floors, and we're sort of riding that hard to make sure. I mean, the building is old, so I think some of the wax that looks like dirt is waxed, went over dirt that's been stuck there for 100 years. So short of ripping up the floors, but Andrea O'Leary has been on top of the maintenance and the cleanliness of the building, and we will continue to do so to the best of our abilities moving forward. Next meeting, I'll give you an update on any more improvements at Fort and the middle school, high school side. We have to recondition the floor, so the high school is now 10 years old. 10 years old. You wouldn't know it when you walk through that building. It looks like pretty close to what it was the day it was opened. That gym floor is the only gym floor for the middle school, high school, and a whole bunch of other activities. It takes a beating. And there are portions of the floor that have become what I would consider unsafe. There's splintering, and a couple of spots that had some type of a sinking, maybe the wood got wet or something. And so that's not safe for kids, and there's kids in there all day, every day, so that's being resurfaced. We've got several quotes to do that. We knew that we were gonna have to do it, so we've sort of been planning for it. We believe as soon as the electrician gets out there and does the electrical work that needs to be done to do it, that they will sand that floor down and then do all of the repainting on the ceiling of that floor in a very short period of time. So that was just some building updates. Other than that, hiring is very busy. You know, we have a lot of people that have been moving. We do our exit surveys. As of today, I don't have any teachers that are leaving with the statement that they're leaving to go someplace for more money. I have people that are leaving for depression. I have people that are moving pretty far away. And I have people that are changing careers. You know, we have one teacher going from being a teacher to his family's cabinet making business, which he's always done, and he took that leap. So good stuff, and we've been seeing some really strong applicants coming in, going through a pretty rigorous, I would say, application process with committees and people that do that work and background checking, following up on resumes, which to me is very important. So all kinds of other stuff that goes along. So, you know, I tried to train my own kids about Facebook and Instagram, Instaface, all that other stuff, right? And we do that because it's important to do that, because you have to know who's coming into your school district. We're upfront about it, and it happens everywhere. So it's important for young kids to know that, for us to teach that. Superintendent's conference actually has some outbreak groups on that, as well as AI, which I'll be attending, and see what folks are doing with that. I know at some point we're gonna policy subcommittee to look at an AI policy a little more detailed for the district. And that's it for me.
Great, thank you. Do you have any new homeschool applications?
We do not.
I know you mentioned some hiring. Do you want any specific personnel updates you want to review further?
Sure. So we have a couple of resignations. Natalie Fitzpatrick, who's been with us for a few years, she was an ESP at the high school. Marissa Greco, who's an elementary science teacher, so at the GFB, one of the specials in science, and she is moving on. And Kayla Danielle, who's been an occupational therapist for us for a few years, is moving into clinical occupational therapy. So those are have been posted because we have had ESP openings already and another OT opening. We have no retirements, and the postings that you see are for mentors for the fall coaches, and the science teacher specialist for the morning bookings.
Do you want to give a short collaborative update, or do you want to save it for the next meeting?
We can say.
Do we have any new business? We have no unfinished business. Any public relations?
Yeah, we haven't really received, I can tell you that the 4th of July parade was a hit. So many of our babies participate in that, and some of our older kids, and it's, you know, it's nice to see them in a different light. Parents are involved. It's totally fun. Crazy, crowded, but you know, it seems like everybody enjoyed themselves. I know the fireworks were a hit, although I was asleep before they started. My father told me they were great. And then we had the tall ships, and you know, it's funny because you're the superintendent of schools, but anything that happens in the town, you have to be a part of. Not necessarily physically, but you have to know what's going on. And so Tony and I communicate frequently about those things, just knowing that Saturday he was going to be here, and then about the transportation, so that if anybody that I ran into, I could fill them in. And I think they did a great job with transporting people who weren't able to be transported, giving people rides with the buses that I think they brought in from Revere. They were like vans, accessible vans, getting older people who couldn't walk that mile and a half down to be able to watch the boats. And it's funny, somebody sent me a video I was showing them on Facebook with the Winthrop Harbor Master's boat, and it was in the seaport. It was the background of the seaport was it's a picture that somebody could sell. And then there was a video of the harbor master, someone on the boat, driving past a tall ship, which was huge. Like obviously they were ginormous, and it couldn't have been more than 100 yards from the tall ship. And I looked at the picture, and it was my own child who works for the harbor master. And I had asked him, how'd your work day go today? Oh yeah, it was good. We pulled a couple of boats over. We checked licenses. But you didn't tell me, like you were in the seaport with this beautiful picture, and you could have jumped out and touched the tall ships. He goes, oh yeah, that was pretty cool too. But it was great community events. I think there were a lot of people from other communities that came in, so happy to see that they could see the beauty of our community, and it takes a village, so. But I do think it's important to know that communication and collaboration is because everybody's part of that family. It's part of the Winthrop family. 99% of the time when something happens, one of our families is involved, so getting that information is very much appreciated from me to Tony and the other folks on the town. That's all I have.
Thank you. I have a motion to adjourn.
Motion. Second.
Motion by Mr. Terrace and Mr. Martucci, any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed or abstention? Meeting adjourned.